This week we're going to start a new challenge, and we've called it Famous Airsoft Person Pistol Challenge. Rolls straight off the tongue. And this week we've got somebody who you may be all familiar with. It's Marlowe of Arnie's Airsoft fame. You may know him as an admin of Arnie's Airsoft, an AK-aficionado, or a self-professed lover of interjecting apostrophes, otherwise known as Dan from Rotherham. So Dan, what brings you to Hong Kong?
Well, I'm here on holiday and hopefully to go visit quite a lot of the Hong Kong shops and have a go at the Hong Kong airsoft scene.
So how are you finding it so far? Are you used to the heat, or are you sweating your nether regions off?
Well, I think not just the nether regions, but certain other parts of my body which best left unmentioned, to be honest. I'm pretty drenched, as you can see, so you might need to clean this chair out after I've finished with it, I'm afraid.
Okay, that's fine, that's not my chair anyway. So you're an AK fan?
That's right, yes.
Why do you like AKs?
Well, I think the thing which got me into AKs back in 2004 when I started to get into the airsoft scene properly is just the fact that they were different to the guns out at the time. Back when I started, the main rifles you could get were Tokyo Marui. And the choices back then in the UK was you either had an M16 or an M4, and that was it. There was you were basically American or American, and that was it. Afterwards, there was the AK-47 which came out, and the AK-47S, and I think really when I went to my first skirmish, I was given an AK, and from there on in, it was just love at first sight really. It just felt absolutely natural, really comfortable to use.
So it's fair to say that you like the feeling of hard wood in between your fingertips?
Not just between my fingertips, really. So we've I've actually heard a story about your mishaps with an M4. Yeah. The problem is that because since I started in airsoft, I've always used AKs. That means I know absolutely nothing about any other rifles, especially American rifles. Apart from AKs, yeah. Although some people probably would say I don't even know a great deal about those. The problem with armour lights in particular is because everyone uses them, and I like to be different. I've never used one, which is fine, until the point when at a game I was stuck behind a barrier and I had the entire enemy team shooting at me and BBs were ricocheting overhead.
Oh no.
And another thing I'm quite well known for is the fact that my rifles tend to break a lot. So of course what could happen at that time, my gun broke on me. So another guy who was watching had an armour light next to him, and he passed it to me along with a spare magazine. It had a magazine in it already, but that magazine was empty, and so I had to try and take that magazine out. So no problem, I thought I'll pick up the rifle, got ready to change it, reached for the lever, which of course on every AK there always is to remove the magazine, and there wasn't one.
Oh no.
So I then spent the next 10 minutes until one of the game marshals actually came over and told me where to go, what button to press to actually get the magazine out and change it. This whole button concept on a rifle was a bit beyond me, so it took me another 5 minutes after that really to actually work out whereabouts on the actual receiver the button was.
So it's safe to say that you got killed?
Yeah, pretty much.
Killed many times over?
Yes, quite a lot.
Okay then. Well, luckily we won't be giving you an M4 for your challenge today.
That's good.
Yeah. So what other guns are you used to? What's in your loadout?
Well, I mean, I normally use AKs like we said, but I do quite often use pistol games, a KWA G17, mainly because there's not really any Russian pistols out there yet, which you can readily get available. I also have used in the past, I quite like revolvers, so I'm a big fan of Tanaka revolvers especially, and I often have used in the past a Smith & which I really like the feel of for target shooting, that sort of thing. And of course I do like anything which fires quite a lot of rounds at once, so I quite like the KSC M11s as well.
Sure. Just spray everybody with a whole load of BBs.
Yeah, unfortunately, generally I tend to hit my friendlies more than my enemies with the M11s, but that's one of those things.
Friendly fire.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the challenge? Have you done race shooting before? Shooting?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Are you a bit nervous about this then?
I wasn't nervous about it until I was told that I'm going to be setting the benchmark for it.
Okay. Yep, you're actually our first ever competitor. We actually created this competition just for you.
Okay, no pressure then.
So, yes, no pressure at all. But we've given you a nice high capper.
Right, which is good. A pistol I've never used before, which is a good start, right? To be honest.
Okay, we'll give you a trial run first.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
can I maybe pay you to give me a few more in one trial run? Or?
Sure, we'll cut that bit right there and we'll sort out the details later. The course starts off here, okay. So we'll move from here, broomstick down so you can see where to stop, and we shoot at the targets over there.
Okay.
The two crosses are no-go. Also marked with a broomstick. We have to beat up the cleaner to get that, unfortunately. And the targets are over there.
Okay.
After we finish with them, we move on, and time for reload, and then we finish off over there.
Right up.
Right, you ready? Yep, ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Safety time. That's one right there.
3, 2, 1, go! Dan from Rogram, otherwise known as Marlowe. Are you excited to know what time you got?
To be honest, I thought I'd be pretty laid back about it, but now that I've heard on the benchmark, yeah, I'm getting pretty nervous, to be honest.
How do you think you did?
I don't know, maybe, I don't know, 25, 30 seconds.
Well, I can tell you did better than that.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, in your best run, you hit one of the no-goes.
Right.
So that's a 1 second penalty.
Okay.
Which gives you a total time of 22.97 seconds.
That's pretty good.
So you go to the top of our scoreboard.
Which is great.
Yeah. But you are also our first competitor.
Yes.
So you are also bottom of the scoreboard at the same time.
Which is a place I'm pretty used to, so that's okay.
So how do you feel about your result?
Pretty happy, considering the fact that it's my first time firing a gas blowback high cap in hot, humid conditions.
With sweaty bits
a mile
everywhere.
in the air. So yeah, pretty happy, I suppose.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you for coming to RedWolf. Hope you had a good time.
Yes, definitely really enjoyed my time here.
Yep, and we hope you enjoyed the GHK AK as well.
I'm sure I will.
So,
okay, thank you.
Till next time.
Thanks a lot.
That's the boss's chair. Anyway, I'll leave the nether regions to the imagination of the viewers here.